Good afternoon, everybody. On this hump day, Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, I got all your stories for your rush hour ride home. We have a breakup in the Bachelor universe we'll discuss. Also, updates to the unhinged lawyer David Gingras, what he has to say on his blog, as, of course, we continue to cover the Bachelor Clayton paternity scandal. And then, or actually, I should say, our first story today will be the teen girl whose body was found in the singer David's Tesla. We're going to jump right into this one. It's a real tragic story. You guys know we've been covering this for a few weeks. The remains are unclear whether there's any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of Celeste Hernandez's remains, Los Angeles police said. This is insane that the singer David hasn't been charged with any crimes yet. Now, they found the body in the front trunk, which is referred to as the frunk. I have a Tesla Model Y. I think that's the same car they have. They might have the Model 3. The frunk is not big. It can fit a few bags of groceries. It's tiny. And to think that she was stuffed into the frunk is just an absolute terrifying story. What's more terrifying is that she's very young. She was very young, and she apparently had run away from home. They were dating, but I don't think anyone knew, again, at least publicly, about this age gap. So a very bizarre interview happened yesterday. TMZ posted that her ex-boyfriend says she joked about running away from her troubled home. Now, it's very strange that they're even conducting this interview. You really can tell, how young she is based on looking at her ex-boyfriend here, trying to answer questions about what sort of troubled home she came from.
Did she talk at all about her relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them. And
then you guys broke up, and the next thing you know, you find out that she's involved with this internet sensation, David.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen. At all.
All right, so there it is. It's a real dog shit interview. What do you expect, So this kid dates her in middle school. She then upgrades to this singer, which is super creepy. She runs away from home. We don't know all of the specifics, but what we do know is she was found in his car, which was abandoned. They didn't find her until they reported an odor coming from the car in the tow yard after it had been towed. Here's what I can tell you about a Tesla. The only way to get into it is with the key that is an app on your phone, and you have to give access to that, or an actual valet card, which is a card that the car comes with. It comes with 2 cards. So I could open the car from my phone right here. I could open the trunk. I can turn the car on, I can do all of that. But where's the sort of metadata that would track who opened the trunk, right? Either it was opened from inside the car or someone's phone opened it. So either A, this is a open and shut case for the investigators and they're just crossing their T's or dotting their I's, or there's some insane story where David was, set up. There were rumors that she might have been pregnant, that the reports have come back that she wasn't. It's a terrible story. We'll be here to cover it with any updates that come in. I don't see a scenario in which he doesn't end up behind bars, but this is the justice system. You let it play out. He isn't even listed as a person of interest. He hasn't been charged in a crime, even though this was his car. Now, but you might also say, well, if you're some sort of powerful musician, you might have multiple vehicles that you give to different people in your community, in your entourage. I have no idea. But whoever is responsible and whatever cohorts were sort of conspiring to make this happen, I truly hope they seek justice. Or I should say, go to prison. I should say that. That would be justice, right? Justice for Celeste. Okay, let's move it on from there. Very bizarre story. Here we have Bachelor, and again, hit the subscribe button for future updates regarding that story. Here's former Bachelor star Carly announcing her breakup. She was engaged this after she was married to a former Bachelor. She's been in the universe for a long time. Looks like it didn't work out well.
Real talk here. I'm going to make the post that I have not been wanting to make because honestly, I just wasn't ready to make it. And two, I don't think it's really anybody else's business, but because I feel like I'm always real with you guys, I'm just going to be real now. I'm not wearing a ring. Obviously, most of you guys have noticed that. I did break off my engagement about a month ago. We are living in a new city. It's not a decision that I personally made overnight. It was really bad timing because the kids had just, started school and sports and all the things. But you know what? It just is what it is. I feel very at peace with this decision. My kids are loving life in the new place. Honestly, dating after divorce and dating with kids is super difficult.
Yeah, so she, it's one of those things. It's like, as an audience, do we really need to know this? No, but she, of course, has this large audience and wants to inform them. So there's no speculating about why she doesn't have a ring on or whatever. I'd watch Carly as the next Bachelorette. I would. I don't think that'll happen. But she comes from the heyday of Bachelor in Paradise, right? Meets Evan, Bachelor in Paradise, get married. She was formerly on, she's been in the universe for a while now. So wish her well. Well, the NFL, is continuing. I just love to find TikToks of people that get offended by who the halftime performer is. It is a tale as old as time that you will have angry white women, no matter what. Literally, there is nobody other than Taylor Swift that if you put them at the halftime show, you will just, here's the reason why I won't be watching. It's like, shut up, Susan. It wasn't about you. You don't even know how football works, okay? Have a listen.
So the NFL has done it again. They have forgotten that they are a football organization, and they are stepping off into political bullcrap again. And they've decided to let Bad Bunny perform at the Super Bowl.
They're letting Bad Bunny out of his cage. How dare the NFL? Did they forget that they're a billion-dollar sport?
Now, my issue with Bad Bunny has nothing to do with the fact that he is anti-Trump, anti-immigration laws in his country, anti-ICE. That is his prerogative.
And by the way, most of the country is anti-Trump, statistically speaking. He's got the lowest approval ratings of any president in the history of our young democracy. Those are facts.
He can feel however he wants about it. My issue is...
Tell us.
He's performing at the Super Bowl, which is in the United States of America. And from my understanding, he only sings in Spanish.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Roger Goodell, did you know he only speaks in Spanish? I do declare. English isn't our national language. We are a melting pot of diverse cultures. And no offense to, rappers out there, I don't understand half the words they're saying anyway, and who cares? What you actually say is very different than how you say it. And I listen to tons of Latin music, and I don't understand a word they say. There's good, I like a good trombone, put the brass section in. What is she talking about? She's going to change her mind once she sees Bad Bunny, holding his little beer, doing his gyrating move with his hips. She'll change her mind. She'll get flustered as hell.
Okay, so the people that are from America and live in America and watch the Super Bowl in America, they speak English. So,
and by the way, there's nothing more offensive than, and again, call it what you want, but people who call the United States of America, America, are the least cultured people you'll ever meet. And if you're one of them, just take this as a note, travel a little bit, because nobody calls the States, the United States of America, America. Americas is North America, Central America, and South America. There are literally dozens of countries in the Americas. So yeah, calling it America is just that's that center, that like we're the center, main character of the story kind of idea that we have. And whatever, tick-tacky, call it what you want, but here in America, we speaks English. It's like, you're barely speaking English right now.
So how are we supposed to understand what the man is even singing about?
She's got nice hair, though. We have very similar haircuts. How am I supposed to know the lyrics? You're going to make me Googles it? You're going to make me Googles Bad Bunny's lyrics and figure out what he's saying? I can tell you what, you don't have to speak English to see what he's doing with those hips. Going to make Timmy close his eyes.
Make sense. But anyway, so NFL, good job.
Good job, NFL. Expanding your organization. Listen, the NFL played in Brazil this year. How you going to play a football game in a country that speaks Portuguese? I bet you're just learning for the first time that Brazil speaks Portuguese. Then they're going to go over to Germany. Gutenhagen, Dankeschön, Germany. You took away my favorite sports team. Hey, that's what it's called, right? They do expansion games. Baseball plays some games in Japan. You spread things out. That you play a game in Mexico City. That's what they do. Then they sell more, T-shirts. to different communities, and everyone makes more money. Love it or hate it, you're not going to be boycotting the NFL. I actually hope people do boycott the NFL. I mean, literally, a boycott of the Super Bowl, that'll be like throwing a lawn chair off the deck of a cruise ship. No one's going to notice. No one's going to care. All right. Oh, boy. We got an update from Billy. What a fantastic. It is always a good episode when we have an update from Billy, formerly of Firefest. What are you doing now, old Billy Ballbags?
What's up, guys? Welcome to Diamond Key. This is our island for the next act after Fire Festival. You can call it a festival, you can call it a pop-up, I don't care.
He calls it an island. If you're listening to the audio only, it looks like a sandbar. But either way, he's made it back to the Caribbean.
But what I do know is that this is my dream. We did our first Phoenix event a few weeks ago, and we all fell in love with the island. The next event is going to take you where you've never been. You're going to land on a runway that's half grass, half whatever the this is. You're going to wake up, hop on an ATV or dirt bike, and get some coffee.
Nothing like selling tickets to an event where you don't even know what type of runway your plane will be landing on. Either way, I'm happy for Billy. He's downsized a little bit. I wish the best. I hope he has so much success he can buy the Firefest brand back and put on a fire festival like we've never seen before. That's what I hope from him. All right, coming up next, we've got updates on the crazy lawsuit we've been covering for what feels like 30 years now. Here it is. Clayton's Justice on Twitter shared this. It appears that David Gingras, who we affectionately refer to as Baby Jingy, is still disparaging Mike Maricini on his blog. Mike is one of the victims of alleged felon and pregnancy faker Laura Michelle Owens. Mike is also the person who filed the bar complaint that led the Arizona State Bar to charge Baby Jingri with probable cause for witness intimidation. Yet here is Gingras still publicly demeaning Maricini. What more evidence do you need to sanction or suspend this grossly unprofessional person of his legal licensed Arizona State Bar? He is an embarrassment to the profession. And to be quite honest, from what I've seen, the Arizona State Bar is an embarrassment. I don't mean to humble brag, but I was the first of what is, I guess, like a dozen bar complaints against him when he threatened to sue me into homelessness. Very bizarre guy. So Gingras says Laura ruined Mike's life by asking for a restraining order, which he agreed to. This sheepthink needs to stop. It's just insane. Omar tells you Mike Maricini's life was ruined. Then you just mindlessly accept that as a fact without taking even 2 seconds to think about it. Now, so David Gingras lives in these like absolutes. Just because Mike has recovered from Laura's insane lies where she made up domestic violence, where she's had years-long restraining orders against him that's probably cost him millions of dollars in revenue he did not, payroll he did not make because he was fired from jobs. She would literally flew to New York, did some little Barry's boot camp flight to New York so that she could walk into Mike Maricini's office and speak to HR like the angry white woman that I would like to speak to your manager right now. What are you talking about? And again, that's no offense to white women, most of which don't do this. I don't want Laura to besmirch the good name of white women, but I'm telling you right now, Laura's probably upset that Bad Bunny's going to be on the halftime show. Anyhow, what can you do, So Gingras says, tell me how much Clayton's life has been ruined. Even if Clayton's life was only ruined a little bit. And by the way, for a good year there, it was ruined a lot. He was robbed of a year of his life and then some, dealing with court fees. Your client owes him $250,000 because she lied and you knew it. Because you might be dumb, but you're not a moron. So then David Gingras brings up Charlie Kirk. What? Tell me how much Clayton's life has been ruined. Please describe his suffering, his massive financial loss, while he's banging chicks on TV. Hey, that's Rachel Recchia. You respect the name Rachel. While he's banging chicks on TV for money and laughing on podcasts with Charlie Kirk. What is he? And by the way, is this just David Gingras trying to get into the algorithm search engine optimization? He's like, while Clayton Echard is watching Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl, listening to, he's just like, naming people. That's what they do. They do this so that their blogs get good search engine optimization. While he's banging chicks and podcasting with Charlie Kirk, talking about how great his life is. Yes, tell me all about Clayton's suffering. Listen, I mean this with all due respect on behalf of the Clayton community. Get a life, okay? What else? Like, move on, get a gig, quit giving it away for free. You're mad about Clayton Echard banging chicks on TV for money. You represented a fake pregnancy scammer for a year for free. Move on. Why don't you? And we'll get into some other news. And by the way, if you don't know this story, what are you doing with your life? Catch up. We've been covering it for a while. We, of course, were sued for harassment. What an insane, where do you even begin? I always tell people, you want to hear the story? How much time do you have? All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the government shutdown. We're going to write some lies, a lot of lies out there. We'll correct the misinformation, all of the government news coming next.